Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Today I'm going to do a little something different. I am going to talk about me a little bit more and what my take in all this is. Power hungry. People that are power hungry. And this is human nature. If you're a piece of shit. I'm 53 years old. I'm an ex-convict, ex-gang member. And I have my experiences. Power hunger is a sickness, a disease, you can say. But it happens. Now, you're probably sitting there saying, you're an ex-gang member? You're an ex-convict? Conservative? You don't look the role. So let me ask you, what do you think of when you think ex-convict, ex-gang member? Do you think of this? Do you think of this? But in all reality, gang members come in all colors, shapes, sizes, and beep, beep, intelligence, believe it or not. Yeah, there are a lot of them that aren't that bright. Some of us that are. But hey, here's one type. And a lot of those are power hungry. Let's be real. See, my whole life growing up in Hartford, Connecticut, there were always gangs in Hartford. You know, there were always gangs growing up in Hartford. But my experiences as far as when I got in is when I was in prison. I was in prison and I was doing, I don't remember what it was, but I know I did a little over a year. But while I was in there, you had in Connecticut, you either had to be one or not, you know. And I grew up, everyone I grew up around was a gang member. They all became gang members, or, you know, I mean, there were several who didn't go into that lifestyle and became cops, police officers, a couple politicians, and successful business people. Some even became athletes and actually did some professional stuff. But the majority of them were gang members, especially my friends. So when I was in there, a lot of the people that I grew up around were a member of this gang, and other people in other parts of Hartford were in another type of gang. So obviously I'm going to go with the people I was comfortable with, people that have come to my house, that, you know, have done dumb things in the past together. So yeah, you felt more comfortable with them. So the gang that they were in, I decided to join them because at the same time my brother was one of the same gang member, of the same gang as I decided to join. Not because I needed protection, because, you know, even then I was into martial arts. I knew how to fight. But I just liked the togetherness. You know, I fell into that togetherness and the rules, and you know, we weren't bullies. We didn't like extortion. We didn't like just a lot of the bullshit. But, you know, it depends on who was running the institution I was in. It was like that on the street too, but there was a huge difference between gang member in the prison and gang member on the street. On the street, you know, you could sell drugs and drive fancy cars and jewelry and buy property if you had that much money, and people knew you were a big-time drug dealer. But if you were a gang member and a big-time drug dealer, that's where the power hunger shines, pretty much. And being that I became a gang member in prison, I didn't experience that at first. You know, I didn't. But when I got out, I learned my rules and regulations. I memorized them. I memorized our charter. So I went by the book. I tried to live my life by the book, which I thought at the time was a positive thing. I come to find out that, yeah, at times that book didn't mean shit, just like laws sometimes, you know, to people who don't respect them. And those people are usually people who are power hungry, just like the Democrats. Libtards, they're power hungry. But anyway, I haven't got there yet. As I was a gang member at a young age, I believe I was 20, I remember when I was 21, I got beat up by my fellow gang members because they didn't like the facts that I was talking about, our rules and regulations and people breaking them. But, you know, the people that were power hungry and had positions didn't like that I was talking the truth. So they tried, you know, they punished me. Sound familiar? So I'm trying to be serious here because what I'm talking about is my actual past. This guy is an ex-convict. This guy is an ex-gang member. And yes, I'm slightly educated. I did some college. I didn't finish high school. I quit at my sophomore year, but I went back. They didn't let me because I was a little too old, I guess. I was 18, 19. And so I went and got my GED, which I passed with high scores. I didn't even study. I just took it and passed it. I was, what? Not an idiot. Like, you lip turds. But, yeah, as time passed, when I got out, I noticed there was a slight difference. Yeah, I was kind of happy. Everybody that I knew that was in the same gang was people I grew up with. So I was like, hey, what's up, hey, whatever, and, you know. But as time progressed, and I was trying to be more involved, I went to their meetings. You know, they had a slight democracy type of thing. People weren't really voted in. There was positions, committee members, as they called them, or politicians in the gang, you know, whatever. You know, it was the hierarchy, which was as I mentioned in one of my videos, is the executive committee members that were given positions that maintained those positions no matter what charter they were in. It's like cities or towns or counties. You know, if this guy held a position in that county, he was just that position in that county. But then you had your executive committee members that were given these positions and kept them no matter where they were at. So that's not really a democracy. It's more like a dictatorship. But anyway, that's how it happened. But we did have our rules and regulations, and I followed them. And I tried to push the parts that I thought were positive into others. But when you have members that have money because they sold a lot of drugs and bought businesses, who do you think they're going to want under them? They don't want some Joe Schmo who just got out of prison, who wasn't selling drugs, who was working. They didn't want that. They wanted somebody who was on their level of dealing drugs so they can converse and talk about their criminal activities. The big time drug dealer wasn't going to talk to me about working and making minimum wage or whatever it was. But I grew up with these guys, so, you know, and they knew me for being someone who was a stickler for rules and a positive guy. So they did respect that. They did respect my positive attitude towards life, towards things. It's how my parents raised me. So a lot of stuff happened. You know, people arrested here, people murdered here. A lot of people I grew up with died. They're dead. They were killed. Some of them are doing life in prison. You know, but as time passed and people recognized, my name got around. They were like, you know, because they knew I was no punk. You know, you know, the fights I've had my whole life, I didn't lose much. You know, I took martial arts at early age, 8 and up, and since then I've been martial arts. So, you know, I knew how to fight, and I didn't care. I would fight anybody. But as time passed, you know, my name got around in the prison system, on the street. Not because I did some heavy shit, but I wasn't someone to mess with. You know, I just knew my stuff. I spoke the truth. I wasn't scared to say what I had to say. When there were meetings, I would speak in front of 200-300 gang members, and whatever happens, happens. I had our charter and bylaws behind me, so nobody can argue with that. So I remember one time I got a phone call, not me personally, but one of our gang member brothers got a phone call from the Godfather, which is, as we know, the guy who's in charge of everything, the executive committee member. And he's heard of me. People talk to him. Hey, this guy's going around trying to fix things, blah, 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 blah. So he's like, let me speak to him, and I was there. So he, you know, I took the phone call, and the Godfather was like, Fernando, I heard a lot about you. This is what's going to happen from now on. You are this. You are higher than everyone there. You are higher than anybody in the state. This is your position from now on. So please put someone in that county charter, chapter, to run stuff. But till then, you're running stuff. So you pretty much have 2 positions. So I did. I took it upon myself. I said, you know what? Maybe I can fix things. Maybe I can do things. That's when shit hit the fan. because those that were under me didn't like the fact that I wasn't a big time drug dealer. Didn't like the fact that no matter how many cojones I had or have earned my stripes, as they say, I wasn't a big time drug dealer. I didn't have money. I didn't have monetary influence. So they didn't like me much. Even though I was by their book, even though I was follow my bylaws, even though I was respectful, even though I try to change our brand to a more positive brand, these guys didn't like me. So what happens is shit rolls downhill. I try to do things. Those that were under me undermined me. Sound familiar? I wanted this done, I wanted that done, I wanted these changes made. They undermined me. Next thing you know, my life is threatened. I was vindicated after. I was called while I was in Florida after I changed my life. I was vindicated actually. Actually, I was living in Florida, Massachusetts, because I left Connecticut after all this bullshit. Because not only was it because I feared for my life, because I want to live, but it was bullshit. Power hungry people have no heart. Power hungry people are only about self. I was never like that. Now, is this something that, as I mentioned in the beginning, a part of human nature? Yeah. It's happened in politics. It's happened in my job. Now, it's happened in past jobs. It happens in almost any profession or unprofession, whatever you want to call it, where somebody has a position or a rank above others and they don't want to let go. I'm talking to you, there it is, who may have experienced this. I'm talking to you who are in denial, if you're in denial. And I'm trying to be serious. Yes, I'm a natural clown. That's just me. I can't help it. But everyone has experienced this power hunger. Everyone has experienced people who are power hungry. It's not just politics, but politics affects all of us. Politics affects you. Politics affects me. Because they're the ones running the shit show. They're the ones who make decisions to affect our lives, affect my life, affect your life, affect everyone's life. And the ones that are power hungry, the shit about this is, it's so obvious. It's obvious. And then they got all their cronies. It's the same thing when I was in a gang. I was recognized as someone who was respectful, positive, followed the law, bylaws. I followed the charter. I followed rules and regulations. Just like there are a lot of conservatives who do. And I'm not talking about the Republicans who are rhinos, who are Democrats in disguise. It's everywhere like that. These guys that I trusted, that I gave positions to, pretty much stabbed me in the back, said, okay, this guy's, got this, but we don't like it. He has nothing to do with us. We want to keep doing the things the way they have been. We like dictating stuff, and we don't like this positive change, pretty much. Sound familiar? So, they set me up. That's why I left. I'm glad I left, because either I would be dead, in prison for defending my life and taking whose ever life tried to kill me. Because self-defense. If I would have stayed, I probably would have been in prison for the rest of my life. Because I one thing about me is I pay attention to everything. I try not to sleep on shit. Especially with the life I grew up with. But, as I said, I'm trying to be a little serious here. Power hungry is not just in one part of life. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And if you are the cronies who help these people that are power hungry, like Democrats, libtards, liberals, you're going to be part of the downfall of not only our country, but of everyone. What we do here in the US affects the world. Look what's going on. We're this close to World War III. Why? Because these shitbags running our country right now. There was a war. One of the reasons I was arrested, because the murders that happened that I was arrested for. Yeah, I was arrested for double murder and double attempted murder. Trust me, I could write a book about what happened. It was crazy. So I'm blessed to be here. I didn't have anything to do with it. I'm not going to repeat myself and defend myself again. But I'm blessed to be here and talk to you. Ex-convict, ex-gang member, conservative. Realistic. Common sense. No bullshit. You watch my videos. I hope I'm making you laugh. I hope I put a smile on your face, even a smirk. But this is how I am. No matter what I've been through in my life, I'm alive, I'm healthy. No matter the shit show these power-hungry people put me through, no matter the shit show this country's going through right now with the power-hungry lib turds, Democrats, and the liberal hacks who spew out this nonsense, people are waking up. People are realizing that we are in a clown show, in a shit show, that we are in the shit. It's too obvious. If you do not realize what's going on, you're an idiot and you're a shithead and you enjoy the smell of shit on your face. And like I said, it was going to go right back to this. There's a lot I can say about my past. Sometimes it's because I forget something happened. Sometimes it's because I don't want to talk about it. But I've been through ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? I've had okay jobs. I've lost jobs. I've been homeless. I've slept in my car. But I've never resorted to using drugs or being an alcoholic. I've just pushed forward. There were times where I walked 20 miles to get to work. There were a time where I rode a bike for 29 miles to and from work just to get to work, to do what I had to do to live. And there were times where I was robbed at gunpoint. I was shot at. I've been shot at. I've had to fight several individuals. I got jumped. Luckily, I knew martial arts and I just wanted to survive. So I know how to survive. And I've been through a lot of stuff. Yet here I am talking to you. Here, this guy, this conservative ex-convict who doesn't sound like a gang member, doesn't dress like this, wears this hat, and is very proud of who I am and what I've been through because it made me the man I am today. I'm not a father. I don't have kids. I can't have kids. I'm 53. I'm used to that by now. I've raised a girl with one of my exes who still calls me dad. She's over 20 years old now, and she's doing good. And I have a lot of nieces and nephews who love me. I've never been, I don't know, I've never been blessed with having a child. So my reasoning for what I'm doing here, it's my purpose. I love to teach martial arts. But it's my purpose in life to not be forgotten. That's one of the reasons why I do this. It's my purpose in life to make sure that those around me are safe, that those around me are happy, that those around me, those I love, are free. I do this so you can be free. Those who do not watch these other guys, those who do not watch the liberal media or search political stuff or search what's going on in the world or in our country. So I'm hoping that more people see this. I'm hoping that this guy can put some common sense into those who don't watch all the other bullshit, into those that think that politics do not affect them. It does. It has affected me my whole life, whether I admit it or not, because in that gang shit I was in, it was all about politics. positions in jobs, rankings in jobs, no matter where it is, when somebody gets power that is a power-hungry individual, they're going to take advantage of it. They're not going to want to lose it. Every job I've ever had, at least 98% of them, has had someone that got a position they didn't deserve and did not want to let it go. And most of them are dicks. You're not used to this, huh? Me just spewing without being a clown. Yeah, I'll be a little clown here and there, because that's just me. This is Fernando Rivera Jr. My dad, Fernando Rivera Sr. My mom, Luz Selenia Arzola. That's my family. Got my brother, Fernando Luis Rivera. Got my sister, Lucy Lou Martinez Rivera. Yeah, I've named them by name because that's my family, and I'm proud of them. I love them to death. And if anything were to happen, yeah, I'd be sad. Yeah, my parents, listen, my parents are divorced. They're doing their own thing. This happened a long time ago. I'm used to, you know, it's life. Life's shit. But we're all healthy. Mom and dad, they're older, so they have their issues, but they're survivors. My dad has always been a fighter. My mom has always been a fighter. So has my brother and my sister. You look at us, we don't look our age. Why? Because we've been through shit and we've survived. It's a fact. And I'm hoping this video gets more views than the other one because my followers maybe either watching this more than once or people are watching and not liking. Come on, guys. I've seen other content. Other content is shit. And they got millions of views. Other content is shit. And they got thousands of likes. Really? Am I boring you? Then fine. Go watch the other stuff. I respect a lot of other stuff. That's fine. I respect some of the stuff that I watch. I watch a lot of it too. But a lot of these guys are talking the same talking points. I mean, I can watch something, you know, that's the funny thing. I didn't post any videos today because I looked at stuff all night, and news and takes, and it's all the same stuff. You know, there'll be 5 guys talking about the same thing. And I'm off the subject, and I apologize for that. Power hunger. People who are power hungry are pieces of shit. I am sorry if you don't like it. It's a fact. Shit on your face. I've experienced it. I've experienced it. Everyone has. Some people are in denial. Some people aren't. And this power hungry shit that's taken over our country, we have to make changes. We have to vote in the right direction. Trump, a guy who gave up his salary to help our country, a guy who has risked his life, who doesn't have to. This guy's not power hungry. This guy can be living on a beach or in his huge mansion, making billions and enjoying life with his beautiful family. But instead, he's risking his life for you, for me. Even though I don't have all my rights back, I'm still in this country. I'm still an American. And he's doing it for you. And you want to talk shit? You want to call him a dictator? You want to say all this nonsense that the liberal media keeps spewing out? I'll never get it. The one guy who isn't power hungry, the one guy who wasn't a politician before becoming a politician, before becoming president of the United States of America, of us, for 4 years, and everyone was better off. The one guy who wasn't power hungry, who they're trying to kill, who they're trying to get rid of, who are trying to jail, who they're trying to put in these sheep's head, is a racist, who they're trying to put in you, the sheep, you, the libtards, you, the Democrats who keep spewing this bullshit that this liberal media, it's like you feed them and they just eat it like shit and feed it to all of us. But it's happening, people. The awakening. Even the polls can't lie anymore. Even the polls, which I think are still shit. I think are still. Listen, landslide. I'm sorry. May not be all 50 states because you got these shit turd states who are going to follow the Democrats and the libtards. But hey, I believe it's going to be a landslide. And this time, we're all going to be in awe of how this country is going to move forward. I have talked a lot today. Sorry. I know I don't have to apologize. I hope this video gets out there. I can say so much about this power-hungry shit, but then this video would be too damn long. And I'll be bored. I might fall asleep listening to myself talk. Oh, man. Like I said, I'm a clown. But I have the right to be, because I love my country. So guys, wake up. Do the right thing. Please follow this guy. Share this guy's stuff. And if can, as this other guy says, buy me a cup of coffee, because I drink a lot of coffee. And just support if you can. Links in the description. Think. And please stop this shit in our faces, in your face. Here it is. Trump Dance 2024. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Love you guys.